All right, we just submitted assignment 1, so now we're moving on to unit 5. And this is going to be assignment 2. It's using compositing skills, but instead of doing a setting with 3 layers of depth, with lots of soft edges and lots of transparent blending, we are going to be making a creature all in sharp focus from head to toe. A creature asset or a figurative asset is something you can put onto a background in compositing and make it work in the foreground, make it work in the middle ground, make it work in the background. So we always want to have the best kind of edge control and quality we can. It is a fantasy creature, so I don't want you to just model it on your dog, right? But you can use parts of your dog if you want. And you can take your own photos and also use found photos. Because this is our second assignment where we're using other people's pixels, this is the one that contains question of the day number 2. Question of the day number 2 is the only required reading, or it contains with it, informed by the only required reading for the semester, which is about copyright law, Creative Commons, public domain, fair use, all things you'll need to know for this course. And we will discuss it just like we discussed question of the day 1. And we'll discuss it in a little while, but do make sure not to ignore that. That's why it was in our course outline earlier, but now it's part of our unit. So I'll be grading these units once the assignment is turned in, which will be about a week from now.
How many layers does this creature need?
So just like with our landscape assignment, and we're going to talk about that with the legality things, we need at least 5 integral components composited together. Like at least 5 puzzle pieces or 5 different creatures that we blend together into one creature. So, for instance, this one used bat ears, lizard eyes, gerbil arms, at least planned for duck feet, but I think I ended up with something else feet. A crocodile tail, at least 5, a pig nose, at least 5. That are integral to it. Again, you don't want it to be like a sticker sheet where you just get a nice image of a horse and then you put horns on it, wings on it, tennis shoes on it, and say that's your fantasy creature. Because it's not. That's a horse with a bunch of other things added to it, right? So you want to design it from the beginning. And we're going to talk about how to do that. What is your homework? Your homework is to sketch it out. This is called the skeletal template sketch. I'm going to pass this book around. It's not like it's the most amazing how to draw a book, but it shows you the basic idea of doing a skeletal template sketch, sometimes called basic shapes, and then from that building up. Your idea needs to have a sense of the skeleton so you know what angle you're looking for your reference from. So here are the sketches based on basic shapes. Here are the sketches, and then here are the final composites. Sketches, final composite. You do not need to sketch well in order to do this step well. It's about understanding the angle of things so that when you're looking for reference, you find them at that angle. And you'll notice that there's a lot of Pokemon inspiration for these because Pokemon design, and a lot of creature design, but Pokemon specifically, are really good at choosing a good silhouette to show off anatomy, even when it's really simple anatomy, so that the images look compelling. So here, this one's a combination of these 2 Pokemon kind of blended together. This one is just an interpretation of one. So as we get to the project, it will take you through that, and it will even demonstrate how you sketch it. But you can use any kind of Pokemon as your inspiration, or you can use anything else, but keep the silhouette in mind. The silhouette would be if it was just a black shape, can you tell what the anatomy is doing? Can you tell how long the spine is, how long the tail is, how far apart the arms are, right? If you pose it in the wrong way, you won't be able to tell that. So this is kind of how the sketching works. You start with the cranium, the circular shape of the head, and then you do the spine coming out of the head. And the spine should always be a curve. It should never be a straight line down like a stick figure, because that hides all those dimensions, right? So it's always a curve, and then you decide the distance between the collarbone, where the arms come out, and the hips, where the legs come out, or you might do wings, where the tail comes out, all that kind of stuff. You decide on those dimensions, you make it part of your sketch, it's something I'll be demonstrating and helping you with next class. Then you find components that fit those angles. We rough cut them and place them together. So what is your homework? Your homework is to find some inspiration. So instead of doing Pokemon for me, because I've done a lot of Pokemon, I'm going to do these Oaxacan wood sculptures. And because I'm doing Mount Olympus, I thought it'd be fun to play with a different mythology, kind of the Day of the Dead mythology. So I'm mixing kind of pangolins with feathered serpents with flying jaguars. And that already suggests a lot of things for me to find. So I've already started to inform my sketching of collecting some references. So I'm using Pixabay. I'm finding high quality jaguar heads. I'm finding high quality parrot wings. And they're all at good angles that I can connect them together in a way that the silhouette really communicates the full anatomy. Not just like a full front view, but this kind of 3/4 view. All right. So another way is because I know we're at time, if you look at our YouTube page, you can always look and not have to wait until next class to see me demonstrate sketching. All you do is you go to the playlist and you're going to look for assignment 2. And it doesn't really matter if you look at the free one or at the Adobe one. If you find assignment 2, which is right here, you'll see immediately like a demonstration of my sketching, right? And how to kind of think through it. All right. So homework, to have a full workday on assignment 2 next class, you want to have your idea, start finding reference, and try to sketch out as best you can basic shapes of the skeleton so that we know what angle to find reference for. That'll do it. Thank you, guys.